We have a very special video for you today from Universal Studios here in Orlando, Florida. They have officially put Villain-Con Minion Blast into technical rehearsals. What that means is it could go up or down at any point. If they want to shut it down for the day, they can, and there's no guarantee that it'll come back up. They have to basically work out some of the kinks. The past 2 days, they had team member previews, and then I assumed that this weekend they would go ahead and open it up in this kind of soft opening technical rehearsal phase, and it is right now. So let's go ahead, get inside, see what's happening over there. I'm sure it's busy as all get out, but we're gonna go ahead, get on maybe 1 or 2 rides. Hopefully we could see if we can beat some of the high scores today. Not sure. As we are getting checked in, I do want to let you guys know today it is about 87-ish degrees right now, and the humidity is kind of rough. Real feel I think is only low 90s, which is always a huge plus. That way we aren't sweating too bad. It definitely looks pretty busy over here. It is a posted 60-minute long wait. I'm surprised that they actually have a posted wait time here. And we're gonna go ahead and get in line. I don't know which way we're going. It looks like they're kind of funneling people both directions. So let's go ahead and get up and hopefully be able to show you some of the queue and some fun things happening in here. Well, here we are. First looks at the queue here. Pretty loud in here, I will say that. But they have some of these banners which we have been seeing kind of float around as this was kind of coming together. We did see some of these hanging. We didn't see any of these TV screens though. Again, quite loud in here. Hopefully we'll be able to see a little bit more indoors. And then you can see right here, this whole wall, it says, "This way to evil." This big Villain-Con display here, which is pretty cool. Again, a little short, but we'll have to see what the inside looks like and then what the outside looks like. What's up, YouTube? So it looks like on display they have some villain trivia. On their way to Villain-Con 1968, the Nelsons robbed what? A bank? A ski mask store. Oh, okay, well, it's a bank. They are also giving you kind of tips on how it works. So it looks like the little blaster that you have, there's a back trigger that's gonna be your unlimited ammo, and then the front trigger, which will be your specials. I don't know too much about what's going on. I do know that you can kind of get like more powerful shots in there. I don't really know how, but it does look like your back trigger is the one you're going to constantly be shooting, and the front one will be more specialty, I guess. It looks like there's some outdoor stuff happening back here. Maybe that'll be extended queue at some point. Maybe you'll kind of come around. But as of now, we are kind of hugging the wall here. I think we're almost indoors. I think at the end of this little hallway, we should be heading in. Ooh, a little claustrophobic in here, though, huh? It looks like they have a few posters here in this very tight hallway. Maybe just some odes to the movies. I saw one actually back there, all the way along the wall. It actually looked like something from Secret Life of Pets, though. Ooh, I lied. I thought we were going right here. This is the electrical room. Looks like we are going around the corner still. All right, we are heading inside. Oh my gosh, the AC in here. Hello. Feels very nice. And here is the indoor queue, it looks like. Wow, this looks nice. Woo. All right, let's take a look around, huh? So it looks like they might have some interactive elements in here. Nope, okay, no buttons. I thought maybe that would have kind of been able to be pressed. But you're kind of coming through here, and again, this is a convention. This is Villain-Con. So you're coming in here, and these are meant to be like convention booths that you are kind of exploring. So this is Unlawful Outfitters. So again, this would be as if they were selling you some of their, or I guess displaying some of their new and coming merchandise. I think we're going to be using this Eliminator X here. This right here looks like a convention map of how it might be laid out if you were to kind of navigate through the booths. So that's kind of cool. Again, they really enveloped the whole convention style in here. There are a lot of touches in here. It definitely kind of gives you that vibe as you're kind of twisting and turning. Really enjoyed the queue indoors so far. I got to kind of keep up with the group in front of me here. But hopefully we can spend a little bit more time in here over the next few weeks and kind of really see some of the Easter eggs and things that are kind of listed and kind of showing inside of here. All right, I think we're coming up to grab our blasters here, so I'm probably going to have to put the camera away here in just a second. But let's see if I can at least show you a little bit of what they kind of look like here. And you can see the way that it's kind of moving across, and you're just going to grab your blaster off of this little conveyor belt, I guess is what I would call this. Here is your blaster. It is pretty heavy. I've been hearing about the weight of this, and it does feel a little heavy, I'm not going to lie. It seems to make some noises here, even when you're in queue. So you can see the 2 triggers here. You have one right here and one up front there. Again, it's heavy enough that I cannot go ahead and record both while I'm holding this and shooting. And then you can see they will ultimately let you sync up with your phone, and you could change what your gun will actually do, or your blaster I should say. But as of now, they don't have that working. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, put the camera away, and we'll let you know what we think. I'm really excited here. This is fun. Definitely a completely new experience. Nothing like this out there right now. All right, we are all finished up. Let me give you my thoughts here as we are heading into the Villain-Con store really quick. This is where you're going to exit the queue, then you will head down into the store and you will be introduced with this hall of infamy. When you do come out here, you should be able to see people's scores up here. Again, you don't see any of the actual numbers here or like names because I think it has to do with the app. And as of right now, the app isn't working. So you see Anna Banana, B-Boy, Padre, Vic Vice, some of these people, maybe these are people that like were doing it earlier. I don't know. I wasn't up there. I think I had about 700,000. I'll put the score in a photo somewhere on the screen at some point here for you. But I think I would be 8th right now. I think it was like 701,000, I believe. Also, this kind of looks like the gun. I kind of showed you guys what it looked like. This is definitely not the exact kind. This is, you could tell this is lighter, and the technology that they use, they need a little bit more inside of there. But okay, we've already done a review of the store here. Let's go outside, have a little chat, talk about what my thoughts are on the brand new ride here for Universal Studios, Villain-Con Minion Blast. All right, I have sat down and I want to kind of give you my thoughts on Villain-Con Minion Blast. First and foremost, the wait time posted 60. I waited 26 minutes and that was to wait in the line, get through the ride itself, and then come out the end, get my camera all assembled, etc. So probably wait time was like 20-ish, 22-ish minutes or so. Not too bad for a posted 60. First and foremost, let's walk through the queue. The queue is primarily outdoors. They do have some fans there which help you kind of stay a little cool, but it's still a little warm in there. And today it's not the hottest day. I mean, I'm sweating right now. It's still the middle of summer here in July, but really it's not like the worst day we've had. And you can feel the heat in there. It is all shaded, which is a nice touch. The fans are going, which is nice, but a majority of the queue is outdoors. And then the second you get inside, you pretty much go into that one room that looks like you're actually in the convention, and then you're right onto the ride. So I wish they would have done a little bit more of an indoor queue versus like a majority outdoor. The queue actually isn't very long either. It's a number of switchbacks there, and then I think I pointed out, I think they might open up that one area to kind of extend it if that kind of gets a little busy. The indoor queue, once you get inside in that one little room, that was actually really cool. I liked that they made you feel like you were at the convention and you had the booths there on display. You even get that convention map that we saw there. Very, very cool. So I liked the indoor queue significantly more than the outdoor queue. Now let's do a debrief on the actual ride itself. The idea of the ride is very unique. This is certainly why I'm sure it's in technical rehearsal. I don't even know, the calibration, I guess, of the guns or the blasters was just off. It was like I was aiming kind of like straight into like the left of the, like where I was trying to shoot, and my little symbol was like up and to the right. But then on top of that, my symbol wasn't showing, or like it wasn't accurate where the actual like lasers were going. So my blaster was kind of pointed to the bottom left of where my circle was on the screen, and then the circle, my little lasers that come out of it were to the top right of that even. So you kind of have to greatly adjust a lot for that. And what it kind of reminds me of is like Nintendo Wii. If you ever played the Wii, that's kind of how I imagine they did the system here. That's what it seemed like to me, just how the interaction on the actual wall went. You could kind of see there was a little bit of like drag, I would say, as you kind of like move your wand around, which reminds me a lot of the Wii, where there's kind of like this like little slow move to it. I was able to find mine, so once you can identify your little marker and then the color and everything, you can kind of like figure out where you're supposed to be going. However, there's so much going on the screens, you lose it in the middle of it. There's no real direction on what to do. So I was just kind of clicking buttons, somehow came out with 700,000 points. I think that it's a very cool concept. I think there needs to be a calibration change to it, number one. And number two, I think like just the vibrance of your particular like markers that are on the screen, I think need to be identifiable a little bit better, especially when there's all this stuff exploding and everything's going all over the place. You just lose your marker. You're like, am I supposed to be shooting at this thing? Now again, like I said, I do think it is a very cool concept. I like that you're standing there. You don't feel weird. You don't feel like you're like moving around very much. It's just like, it's very casual. Like all of a sudden you're just moving room to room. I didn't feel like I was off balance. Nothing felt like I wasn't able to properly stand or kind of just like go from like room to room, or that like I was off at all. So for that, I would say a good job for the actual ride mechanism itself, which is again, that moving walkway style that you guys have been hearing about. So when it comes to the point system, again, I don't really know, so I can't really give you too much on that. Again, I think I got right over 700,000 and I didn't really know what I was aiming at. I heard people say like, try and go for the little like murals that were around. So I tried to shoot some like the paintings, and I think maybe that got me some points. There's no indicator that's letting you know what you're doing. The special button is in the front. You don't know when you have special ammo. If those things are on the blaster, then I think they need to like let you know, or there needs to be a little indicator to kind of like specialize that. I looked down at my points one time and I saw this like little green wave, and I'm like, okay, maybe that's the special weapon that I have right now, but I had no idea how I got it. When I was shooting it, I couldn't really see it. Early on, I could see I was shooting bananas or like rockets or something, and like they were doing big explosions. I don't know, it's just, I feel like there's something that needs to be tuned there just a little bit. Now, the final thing I will point out would be the actual blaster itself. I've been hearing a lot of talks of this. Is it heavy? Yeah, it's not horrible. The biggest problem is the actual trigger itself. So you have to keep pulling, and it's a workout for like your forearm and your wrist, because you're just constantly pulling the trigger. I think what they need to do is allow like Men in Black, where you can hold down at least the constant shooting one, where you could just hold that one down and let that one go. And then maybe you have to let go of that and then pull the special trigger in the front to shoot your special weapons. It becomes exhausting. You're just like sitting there. I was switching hands, and there was people around me that just like kind of had their guns down. They just like weren't playing. And I don't know if they were exhausted or maybe they weren't having a good time. I don't know. I think the ride itself is actually a lot of fun. I just think there just needs to be some fine tuning in there. But that's why you do technical rehearsals. This is why Universal is open. So people coming in expecting like the final product, I don't think this is it. I think they actually are in the middle of technical rehearsals. They're making sure that things are working, and then making sure that the guns are at least registering, kind of seeing how that works, how you identify things. That would be the biggest thing, is how you're identifying like when it gets hectic or what you're shooting at, things like that. Now, sorry, that was a lot of rambling to some of you, or maybe that was super informative. If you did find that informative, please give this video a thumbs up. But let me just be honest with you. I think that the ride is a very fun ride. It's cool, it's unique, it's unlike anything that I have seen. And honestly, this could take the #1 shooter game inside of the theme parks if they just fine tune it just a little bit. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And again, my little tips and tricks would definitely be aim for the little, I guess they're like portraits. They're kind of like smaller screens. Any of the smaller screens that have stuff going on them, shoot the stuff over there. I think they are the things that are getting you the most points. If you can, try and look at your blaster to see if you have an icon there. Maybe that is how that works. Again, I don't totally know, but for me, I think that's what I was seeing. I guess also my last tip would be the actual holding of the blaster. Don't hold it out in front of you, because it does have a little bit of weight. You're gonna start to put some strain on your shoulders. Try and hold it closer to yourself, as close as you can, to kind of keep your elbows from like having to extend. And then also you're gonna have to learn to switch sides. So the biggest thing I did was I got behind the blaster to try and find what my icon and what my little like color was. And then after that, I went ahead and understood where I was kind of shooting. And then I, again, tried to keep it like as close to like my shoulders as possible, kind of kept it in. And I didn't feel like the weight was too bad. Somebody else definitely might have more problems with that, but I didn't feel it like at all. I saw people that were holding it out, kind of like Men in Black. I feel like people like hold their guns all the way out, those little lasers. They're like sticking them straight out. You can't really do that here. I think it's a little too heavy. So I would say definitely make sure for this one, keep it closer to your body. That would be my tip for not having it hurt, or I guess become so heavy, is just keeping it as close as you can to your person. Now, thank you for hanging out with me today as we went ahead and did a technical rehearsal of Villain-Con Minion Blast, the brand new attraction here at Universal Studios. If you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe to the channel, turn that bell notification on, and you will be informed anytime we release more content like this. We will see you guys in the next video. Take care.